I would like to call the regular meeting of the Prospect Heights Planning and Zoning Board of Appeals to order at 7 p.m. Jen, would you please call the roll? You're muted, Jen.
Huh? Oh, okay.
Commissioner Kempa. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay. Commissioner DeGraff.
Here.
Commissioner Taman. Commissioner Taman.
I'm here.
Thank you, Jen.
The cat walked across.
Here.
Commissioner Kempa. I can see you. Commissioner Saywert.
Here.
And Commissioner Mellon.
Here.
All right, folks, the first order of business tonight is we will need to elect the chairman pro tem. As permanent chair hasn't been appointed as of yet, so entertain a motion for chair pro tem.
I would like to make that motion for Bruce Mellon to be pro tem chairman for tonight's PZBA meeting.
And John Taman, I'll second that.
Roll call vote, please, John.
Commissioner Kempa. Okay. Commissioner DeGraff.
Aye.
Commissioner Taman.
Aye.
Commissioner Saywert.
Aye.
Commissioner Patel.
Aye.
And Commissioner Mellon.
Aye.
Machi's having some connection problems on his audio, but he's with us. So with that done, we have...
I think I'm good now. Sorry about that.
Not a problem. All right, Chair Pro Tem Mellon, it's your meeting.
Good evening, everybody. The second item of business tonight is consideration of the April 1st, 2021 PZBA meeting minutes. Are there any comments, changes, or corrections to the minutes from any of the commissioners? If no changes, can I get a motion?
Hey, Bruce, staff has two small ones. Okay. Number one, it should have been added to the motion that the rear yard variation was for the addition of the screen room as well, as decks and patios are actually permitted encroachments. So it was a Scribner's on that, and it was clearly shown on the plans, and that was the intent. And then secondly, there was a roll call vote mislabeling that we'll correct to adjourn the meeting last week. You guys all said no.
Good.
So, that being said, those are the only two corrections that we have.
I'll make a motion to approve last ZBA minutes, April 1st of 2021. Commissioner DeGraff.
As amended.
Commissioner
I'll second.
Taman, I will approve it as amended.
Sorry, everybody, my connection just went.
Roll call, John. Roll.
Commissioner Kempa.
Aye.
Commissioner DeGraff.
Aye.
Commissioner Taman.
Aye.
Commissioner Patel. Commissioner Saywert.
Abstain.
And Chairman Pro Tem Mellon.
Aye.
Passes.
Okay, thank you. We don't have any cases of old business tonight, so we'll move on to our one case of new business. Tonight, we have before us a consideration, a special use permit for a pawn shop in the city's B2 General Business District per section 574C of the city zoning code. The applicant is David Schaub and Michelle Black. The address is 616 North Milwaukee Avenue. And so with that, I'd like to get a motion to open the public hearing, please.
I'll make the motion, Commissioner Kemper.
I'll second, Commissioner DeGraff.
General call vote, please.
Commissioner Saywert.
Aye.
Commissioner Patel.
Aye.
Commissioner Taman.
Aye.
Commissioner DeGraff.
Aye.
Commissioner Kempa.
Aye.
And Chairman Pro Tem Mellon.
Aye. Okay, so the public hearing is open. Mr. Schaub or Ms. Black, would you like to, well, I guess first, Director Peterson, do you want to give us a summary of the case as you know it?
Yes, thank you very much, Chair Mellon. Before you tonight is a request for a special use for a pawn shop in the B2 district. Pawn shops are permitted special use permit or special use in that district. And the applicants, Mr. Schaub and Ms. Black, have presented a very thorough application and have provided a business plan and documents to support it. They and I'll let them explain where they're at, but they cannot get their pawnbroker's license until they get their zoning approval. So we would, at the end of the day, like to make that a condition of opening, that they have to have proof of their pawnbroker license prior to opening. With that being said, Chair, Mr. Schaub and Ms. Black are here. They'll need to be sworn in to provide testimony, and they're here to present their case.
Mr. Schaub, Ms. Black, can you raise your right hand, please? And do you swear that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
I do.
All right, the floor is yours.
Well, what we're asking your consideration on is a resale, and pawn shop. So it's called WHAM, Gold and Silver Exchange. WHAM stands for Walking Around Money. And, what we propose with that corner lot is it's a collateral-based lending organization. We both have given you our resumes, and so rather than sit here and we have multiple years of business. At this point, I'm 60 years old. I'm looking at starting a family business with my kids and Michelle's child. We live in Wheeling. Michelle can speak to that, but as a collateral-based lending, if you read what we gave as a report, about 80% of those things are paid for and taken back by the clients. The other 20% will offer to the people in the neighborhood at a greatly discounted price. We plan on having a place that is not an offshoot of a thrift store or anything, but a well-decorated, well-maintained place, and there to do business with the people of Prospect Heights, Wheeling in the area, giving them cash for some collateral and allowing them to pay monthly or weekly on that and get it back. We've outlined a lot of our business plans and all that. I think maybe Michelle now can add what she'd like to say.
I think one thing that will make us different, and Dan and I had a big discussion of this, my entire career has been in the nonprofit space. And I work on the west side of Chicago every single day. So I am very cognizant of the fact that they have limited resources and they need a place to go for resources, but at the same time, while we certainly want to be profitable and to be able to give back to you all through the tax revenue, we also want to be able to give back to the community and have pledged a minimum of 1% back. I've talked to a few people. They seem to say the Park District or even Harper College would be a good place to start. Since I was an adjunct professor and an advisor for workforce in Pennsylvania for about 10 years, I'd probably like to give to Harper in their workforce development and give opportunities to people trying to reenter the workforce, particularly now in this time of COVID. But I think that's what will make us different. while the business is the business, the commitment to try to make sure we're giving back is something we're very entrenched in and very committed to doing so. And as a fun fact, Wham came from my father. He's always called his cash Wham, so that reinforces our family focus. My 80-year-old papa helped us come up with the name. So I don't know if you all have any questions for us, but we're certainly here to have a vibrant discussion if you would like to ask us any questions.
Very good. Thank you for your testimony and being here tonight. I don't see anybody other than the commissioners and staff on this call tonight, but I will ask if there's any anybody from the public here tonight that wishes to testify. Just please go ahead and open your mic and we'll swear you in. Otherwise, I'll open the floor to the commissioners for comments and discussion.
Commissioner Taman, I think it's a good plan. It's unused space. It'll be it's a good thing for the community.
Thank you.
I have a question. What would your typical hours would be?
Good question. We primarily would do daylight hours. If we did anything off hours or on Sundays, it would be by appointment only, because we are cognizant of, we do not want to be that late night blinking light out on the corner. So it would be primarily, so I'm thinking summertime, 7, 8 o'clock, because it's daylight. The winter, that would be a little more reduced because we are very thoughtful if we want to have safety in mind. That's one reason we picked the bank, Village Trust Bank, right there, because for the most part, people will be given checks and they will need to go over to the bank to cash those because we don't want cash, going out of the business. So we're trying to be very safety conscious as well in our approach. So our hours, as well as how we're going to be giving out those loans. The bank has said if it's anything under $1,200, they're more than happy to cash that. Or, they're thinking potentially they'll get some clients to open accounts there. So it's a win-win for them. That's kind of safety considerations we're thinking of, not really being open much past 8 o'clock. And in the winter.
So let me ask you a question. So obviously somebody comes in there and they put a piece of whatever item is as collateral, then you would give them a check and they could then go to your bank and actually cash it.
Well, they could go to the bank now if it's after bank hours. We will have the access to give them the cash that they need. We would prefer that they went and went right across the way there to the bank, but okay. There will be some people after the bank hours. But there will be a limited amount of cash. What we want to make is a place that will look nice and have the people from across and all those departments and everywhere coming in and utilizing that side of the mall more maybe, because it looks like we will certainly, if you look behind me, this is, except for my joke, which is a pawn shop sign, which I have a strange sense of humor, but it'll be decorated like this. I mean, it won't look like a Goodwill outlet. It'll look like, we want to keep as respectable as possible and draw more people to that mall area, of course, because we want more business.
Okay, thank you.
This is Commissioner Sayward. I have a question for the applicant. On your description, your Exhibit 2, it says our shop will sell or purchase mid to high-end watches and jewelry as our primary revenue stream. If you're going to have a lot of both cash and high-end items, can you speak a little bit to the security in the building as well?
Sure.
How would you...
well, in order to get the...
Especially with the large windows.
There will be closable gates after hours on those windows that I'm looking into. I have already purchased a camera system from inside and out. For the insurance, we have to have a TL30 safe on site. There will be a buzzer at the front door for us to look at the people that come in, and the software package that I bought automatically runs everything through the stolen things. If it's stolen, it'll come up on the police pawn sheet. So everything we have is scanned, their license is scanned, and we keep a record of that. So that's the highest security that we can have. And for God forbid, any of this looting or things, there will be the closable gates, the security gates that we will purchase and put on the building. And the landlord there has told us that he was okay with that. We've already purchased the cameras and the alarm system, and the safe and the show cases.
We're also exploring, the way bars scan IDs to see if they're fake IDs. So we also would buy that same system so that we would kind of know ahead of time if somebody, whether it's state ID or their passport or their driver's license, we would know if that was a fraudulent item as well. So we started exploring that as well, whether we would be able to somehow have that before entry or pretty soon onto entry if they're looking to sell or purchase things. We want to make sure that we're doing that lawfully. And we also had to do a pretty extensive plan with Village Trust around how, we would just ensure we were following the anti-money laundering pieces around that, and they would not give us a bank account until we did that. So we kind of feel like we shored up pretty tightly any misuse of funds or property.
So you mentioned outside gates as well, security gates. Are those required for the security, do you feel?
I don't know. The other shops don't seem to have it. I don't think it's required. And if it's something that you feel would be a detriment, we don't have to have it. I did look at the liquor store and the currency exchange, and they don't have any kind of metal security gates over their windows. So you would be either way that you're comfortable with. We want to go with what Prospect Heights wants us to do to make it fit in the community and do what we plan to do.
Yeah, well, I guess that's what, that's something you have to figure out. But if you're talking, you want it to be kind of a neighborhood friendly type storefront. I don't know if there's a way to get around that, but that
we don't need that. We have motion detectors inside. I don't have to put gates at all. As a matter of fact, that would save me a large investment up front. So that's fine.
Yeah, and I don't want to make that call, but if it's something that you don't need, I would just say that that's something that, it would be worth looking at. I don't want to jeopardize your business in any way, but if you're talking about a neighborhood-friendly type image, gates on the storefront.
And I think that's a very valid point. The other thing is I have heard on the news as of yesterday that the ID thing may be something that people are negative about, and that may be another thing. But I'm open to really, you all in this community want the best for it. I mean, maybe we wait until they come in for an ID. Some people don't have IDs. If you've listened to the news, there's been a big issue about IDs. I thought everybody needed an ID for a COVID shot or to go on a plane or anything, but we can certainly play it by ear. But for the for the state police pawn's website, there has to be an ID associated with anything we purchase and loan on.
Got it. I would just say that it would be something that you would work out with Director Peterson and our police department and make sure that, it can have a good curb appeal, but it's going to be as secure as you need it to be.
We can do that.
David, Michelle, we've had occasions by accident where folks have accidentally driven into windows, storefronts. Actually, over at that mall about a year ago, my inspector almost got hit by a car that went through a window at a restaurant. The mall has done a good job if requested to put like concrete planters in strategic places. That type of thing may be an option, to look at and talk with the management company. It's a more aesthetically pleasing way to provide a little bit of security.
And planters are nicer than ballards too. And at my childcare, we always have to think about the same thing, right? And so, the planters are always a lot more aesthetically pleasing than putting up the ballards.
The only other item I have for the commission is Police Chief Zalaki did provide a brief memo today. He's comfortable with the plan. He's comfortable with the Illinois Pawnbroker Act, and we'll be reaching out and wanting, and will probably require a meeting with David and Michelle, the applicants, prior to opening to go through policies, procedures, practices, and their systems in place. So, the chief said we've had pawn shops in the city before my time, and that they've never had an issue with them.
Certainly, that sounds great. Not right now. Sorry about that.
Nope, I think, Bruce, if there's no other questions, I think, we could probably look to close the public hearing.
Yes, sir. So without any other, public comments, can I, entertain a motion to close, the application, or the hearing for ZBA 21-03 SU?
I'll make that motion, Commissioner Stewart.
Scott,
Do I have a
you're
second?
muted.
Who did a second?
Commissioner Tammond, I'll second that.
I was
Okay,
muted,
thank
I'm
you.
sorry.
Okay, roll call. Commissioner Patel.
Aye.
Commissioner Stewart. Her screen had frozen on me. Commissioner Taman.
Aye.
Commissioner DeGraff.
Aye.
Commissioner Kempa.
Aye.
And Chairman Pro Tem Mellon.
Aye. Okay, so public hearing is closed. Can I get a motion to receive into the public record the staff review of compliance of this application with the zoning standards as presented by staff this evening, and to make these standards as part of the official record for the application?
I'll make the motion, Commissioner Kemper.
I'll second it, Commissioner Stewart.
Jen, roll call vote,
Okay,
please.
roll call vote. Commissioner Taman.
Aye.
Commissioner Patel.
Aye.
Commissioner Kempa.
Aye.
Commissioner Stewart.
Aye.
Commissioner DeGraff.
Aye.
And Chairman Pro Tem Mellon.
Aye. Okay, Director Peterson, I don't think we have any other, evidence outside of what was presented, in your, report tonight?
Just, we'll add the police chief's memo as part of the staff report that was just approved.
Okay, do I need a motion to include that?
No, we're good on that,
Okay,
because it's a staff report, not a outside exhibit.
all right. So with that, can I get a motion, for the recommendation of the, special use, as presented tonight, for a, pawn shop for Wham Gold and Silver Exchange at 616 North Milwaukee Avenue?
But there was what did you want us to add to that, for a condition?
Oh, that's right. There was the condition of approval was that the,
They have to
applicant
present
would
their
obtain their-
state, they have to present their state pawnbroker's license before a certificate of occupancy will be issued.
That's right. So the motion would be for the approval of the
So
special
I'll
use.
make that motion.
Thank you.
And I'll second Commissioner DeGraff.
Jen, roll call vote, please.
Okay, Commissioner DeGraff.
Aye.
Commissioner Stewart.
Aye.
Commissioner Patel.
Aye.
Commissioner Taman.
Aye.
Commissioner Kempa.
Aye.
And, Chairman Pro Tem Mellon.
Aye. Well, congratulations, one step down, David and Michelle, thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you.
Your case will appear before the city council, Director Peterson, do you know when that would be?
On Monday, May 10th, 6:30, The Thursday or Friday before, I will be sending you an agenda and Zoom login information.
So then we can proceed then to get the pawn shop license that we are approved for the space?
Well,
we wait until May?
The plan commission's a recommending body, the city council will give the final vote.
Okay,
And why don't you give me a call on Monday? I'm pretty
Okay.
tied up tomorrow, and we'll talk about the, agenda process for the council on Monday.
thank you very much. Everybody, I appreciate it. We look forward to being a good part of your community.
Good luck and thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
Yep,
so
thank you
much.
very
Have a
much.
good night.
Good night.
If you guys haven't, if you guys haven't done it yet, get your, county, economic interest statements in.
County economic.
Where would we get those?
Oh, no, you guys don't. I'm talking to the commissioners. You guys are done.
Okay. Right, then I guess we can go then. Thank you.
Yep.
Have a nice evening.
All right.
Bye.
I don't see anybody else here from, the public, so we have no, public comment tonight. Director Peterson, any, previous application updates, you'd like to share with us?
Real quickly, the joint review board, which was assembled of representatives from the taxing districts to, make a recommendation to city council on the, eligibility report and redevelopment plan for the Muir Park, townhome development, unanimously voted to recommend to the city council approval of the TIF district, that the eligibility plan, report and plan were satisfactory, and we had the public hearing past Monday night. That will be going to council for all the TIF ordinance approvals, either May 10th or May 24th, or, May 24th for, council, recommendation. That would be the final step on the TIF approval, and then Lexington will be able to move forward with, getting all their high-level, engineering done and final plats, and they'll end up before us probably sometime late summer for our final plat of subdivision, final engineering review. So that's coming up there, and, with that, that's the only major outstanding item that's, still floating around.
Just out of curiosity, Director Peterson, did the Lexington Homes, get, the exchange of, land, worked out with the, Park District? I assume, since they're moving forward, that, has gone positive.
And they're in negotiations. That's the last final step with the Park District. The Fire District has been a good cooperative, taxing body, and we've come to an agreement with the Fire District. We've, come to agreements with the school districts, moving forward. So, that being said, we're waiting on final numbers and final information from the Lexington and the Park District so we can finish the intergovernmental agreement, which will then, we can move forward with the TIF ordinances. But then the intergovernmental agreement will have to be ratified with all the hard specifics. But you don't want to start adopting the TIF ordinances, because that starts the clock until you're almost 100% ready. So, the goal is to get that wrapped up within the next month, hopefully, and get this project started, shovels in the ground, hopefully in the fall. That would be, the very ballpark tentative, plan.
Very good.
My connection's been going in and out, but Bruce, wasn't your question about the park, exchange, and did that go through?
Yes.
Okay.
And the answer is not yet. They're in negotiations. The park board did authorize them to enter into negotiations for that, and they're just finalizing the terms of the agreement. Yeah, Jan, I think you're having a connection problem. I see you freeze up every once in a while.
Yep.
And I think we're all having a little bit of a connection problem tonight, so. Director Peason, any other communications? You mentioned the economic interest statements are due, next week. I would encourage all the commissioners to, just double check, cause I filled one out and then I got an email, 2 weeks later that it hadn't been done, so I don't know what happened. I had to redo mine, so, just, double check that, you've got the, confirmation.
And the county does send fines out if you don't do it. So,
With that, if there's no more discussion, can I get a motion from, one of the commissioners, to adjourn the, April 22nd, Planning and Zoning Board of Appeals meeting?
I'll make that motion to adjourn. Commissioner DeGraff?
I'll second it.
Jen, roll call, please.
Okay, Commissioner Saywert,
Aye.
Commissioner Patel,
Aye.
Commissioner Taman,
Aye.
Commissioner DeGraff,
Aye.
Commissioner Kempa, and Chairman Pro Tem Mellon.
Sorry, aye. That is the aye.
We
Aye
saw
for
the
me.
lips move.
We saw the lips move.
All right, everybody. Thanks for being here tonight.